Hey everybody, it's been a while since I did a live video, and I'm going to be covering Fear versus Jester in a moment, and I'm joined today with Siatam.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? How are you doing, Mr. Cherry Bong?
I'm doing all right, aside from my cough, but I'm actually glad that I have a Sunday available, so now I can commentate on something going on live, as opposed to the usual Century Express weekly coverage. Like I always tend to cover him on Saturdays. How are you doing?
Doing pretty well. I'm excited for this game. Should be pretty good. You know, Fear's doing well as SPL. Jester has some, ground to make up, but he's motivated. I think they're both going to be bringing some powerful teams. Should be a good game.
Yeah, I actually think that it's real nice to see that Jester, who has proven to be extremely proficient in Gen 3, if you all know how he performed in the Callus Invitational, he did real well. But
hmm
it's nice to see him show this dedication to Gen 2 and this appreciation for it. I mean, he's no stranger to the tier.
Yeah, I think he still has a lot of practice and experience he can gain, especially against the people that have been playing for well over a decade, maybe even approaching 2 decades at this point. But he's playing well and he's getting up there.
Yeah, like Fear, Conflict, M Dragon. He already faced Conflict.
Let's see, I'm looking at the replays. He did face Raichi, who's been around the block.
Right.
But besides that, it's just myself and D4 he has played.
I'm obviously a fan of your play as well.
Oh, thank you.
What are you going to be keeping an eye out for when you look at this? You might have, you've already played against. I don't know. Is there something you want to keep an eye out for against possibly Fear or against?
Well, I might not share that information publicly, but
Oh,
if
right.
I no, no, don't worry about it. But if I had some predictions for the teams, I think Jester will be a fairly standard offense team. Um, Fear, I'd expect to lean a little bit more bulky. I know he brought one team last SPL, which was a Zapdos, Snorlax Cloyster, Tyranitar, Umbreon, Venusaur. That's very interesting. It's not really a stall. It's not really an offense. Um, so that's what I'd expect in this game. Something a little bulkier from Fear, but not quite full stall.
I wonder if I
What do
can.
you think with Jester or Fear might bring? Do you have a different opinion? Do you have any observations you've had from their replays?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember what Jester brought last week, but it felt like he had a tendency to be a little bit weak to electrics. Um, and that's so it's not anything in particular that he's gonna bring, but it's more like the one thing I saw while analyzing his teams. I've been trying to analyze a bunch of the teams. It's not. Um, that's what I gathered, especially when he brought, for example, Golem, Moltres, Zap, Moltres, Zap, that team, and he
That was
also had
week
an
one,
egg.
wasn't it? Yes.
To me, it seemed kind of like you're putting yourself in a really bad spot, especially if you don't have a way to just delete those electrics. And he had Curse, EQ, Lax, didn't have Boom, uh, you know. But
Yeah, that's a difficult team to play into something like Zapdos. But if you play it
or Double Elec.
aggressively enough,
Yeah, he ran into Double Elec, so it was really hard.
do you have any
Then,
predictions on normal resists in this matchup? Because I think Steelix has been having a very successful SPL. It might
yeah,
be tied or have the most usage right out of any traditional normal resist.
Steelix, Gar, Tar is those three together are insane. More so Steelix with T-Tar, because Steelix apparently turns out to be really good at enabling Tar. So it would be interesting to see if someone tries to, abuse that. Maybe bring him a champ, maybe a Marowak, expecting the opponent to bring double normal resist or something like that. Where is it? There it is. All right. Here we are. We finally got our game.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back. We're in this.
Snorlax versus Snorlax. Name a more iconic opening in GSC.
I cannot. Although I do like Zap versus Lax.
That's very interesting as well. I feel like that has started to change its dynamic as Snorlax sets have, altered in the current meta.
It's very much like Fear to use Frustration over Double Edge or Body Slam.
I feel like I might have been on the money where this is a more bulky, offense, pseudo-offense team. Good crits from Fear, but Jester is surviving.
Yeah. Mostly due to winning the speed tie.
Well, it's not even a tie right now.
Well, I mean in the first turns. Yeah, sorry about that.
No. So I think this, frustration return Snorlax. Fear should have a pretty solid backbone against other mono Lax, since you won't necessarily expect to win 1v1. Though I think Double Edge self-damage might make it more even.
Slightly.
I think it also say something about Fear's electric resists. I wouldn't expect a Raikou, is what I'd say. If you're using your return Snorlax to have a better matchup against Zapdos.
I think those crits, the crit on the Steelix was huge. That's going to matter a lot. I kind of have a feeling that there could be a spinner in maybe in Jester's team. Partly because when you lead Lax, with Curse Lax, you sometimes feel comfortable with Cloyster coming in and forcing it to boom. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't personally expect a spinner on Fear's team. Perhaps I would have tried to trade Toxics on Cloyster. Wear him down and win the Spikes game long term.
It seems like there's no Spikes game to win here, though.
Probably not. Jester's back 2 could be practically anything. I'm still expecting another Sleep Talker from Fear that's not Zapdos. But I could be wrong, seeing how he is staying in on this Tyranitar.
Yeah, interesting that he's staying in. I think not clicking Dynamic Punch or Screech is a big tell. Yeah, that's the phaser.
So this Steelix is going to be practically a liability long term. I think your only chance to use it will be probably an explosion against Snorlax.
Yeah. That is if Jester doesn't make some huge prediction and pursuit it.
What will Pursuit do? 16 to 18%?
Yeah, something like that. If it does 18, then the Steelix could be in trouble. It really narrows the possibilities of it switching. So Espeon. Looks like a bad matchup. Ooh. I may have been right.
Ooh, that's a very interesting last.
Miss Drevis. Have we even seen Miss Drevis in SPL at all?
I think this is its first appearance this season, and it's not even on a stall team.
Yeah, that's interesting. What a way to debut.
Fully expect this Espeon to be baton pass. I feel like this, Steelix, Mischievous, don't want to say core, um, but that combination, I've seen it before with Lastmon, Jolteon, or Vaporeon.
M- You've seen Miss Drevis, Vaporeon, and Lix?
Yep, I think Conflict might have brought it last SPL with a Jolteon.
Damn. I've seen. I mean, it kind of makes sense if you think of how well Gengar pairs with Lix, oftentimes, but for its offensive reasons. So we see Toxic. Jester's completely respecting this Misdreavus, which is good. It's good to see that because he could bring in Tar, but then you never know if it's a Sleep Talk set. Even bringing in the Me could be trouble. So yeah.
It looks like Fear's Snorlax is going to need to pull off some heroics.
Go straight to Espeon. Probably gonna capitalize. Hope to dodge a Thunder and then capitalize off of that. But
So Jester last. Do you think it's Marowak?
I feel like it feels like Marowak.
Yeah, it's a Marowak, maybe on the off chance a Machamp. But those feel like the only options on this sort of team. Otherwise, I don't think you need your Thunder Wave Starmie support.
It doesn't even look that much like it might matter. Fear is in a really tight spot right now. Yeah, Starmie's the play to make every day. What if this Espeon had Bite? No. Okay.
Yeah, I think long term Fear's just got to get Snorlax and Zapdos healthy and hope for the best. Keep
Maybe.
Misdreavus around for that Cloister boom. It's certainly not a good position for Fear, but there's chances.
Ooh.
But not with those paralyses.
Yes, this is not looking good.
Gets the Toxic off.
Doesn't even attempt to rest, if it is rest talk, like I might think it is. But we'll see here. Pain split. Okay.
I don't think you'd. Yeah, rest on offense would be a little too slow, but Pain Split's a good choice.
Yeah, I didn't have any reason as to why I said that, but then again, I never saw Ms. Drevis on offense.
Might expect Thunder, HP Water, perhaps even a Perish song, just as a check to last mon situations.
Would make sense. I love using that Paris song on a last mon. The thing is, now Jester's in a sort of iffy situation because his Starmie will be that much more pressured to fight back. If Misdreavus were to use Destiny Bond, it would be more the Starmie would be more pressured and all that, but we'll see. Flinch.
I think if Fear could get out of it with Mistress alive and healthy,
It's
which isn't looking like the case right now, it
it's
could have
dead
been all
now.
right. But I still think there are, chances for Snorlax to pull off some miracles.
Well, I was right about the spinner prediction. Woohoo! But yeah, with the early crits, this I think Jester's lax is going to be enough to kind of break through Fear's team. Um, I guess it's good that he didn't bring Thunderlax, because that's also commonly seen on some Marowak teams. Phases out the Lax.
Is this a KO? I think it's close, but not enough.
Rock Slide? No.
No, HP Water, 35 max.
Right. Oh, it already revealed HP Water? When did I miss that?
I think it's against the Starmie.
Oh.
It could be something else, but I fully expect Water. All right, looks like it's not a baton pass here.
Decides to preserve T-Tar. Maybe use
Not
it as
bad to have a
fodder.
sack.
Yeah, using it as fodder. He does get a spin, though, so that's... He has to be cautious of letting Cloyster in for a boom. This is Jester's game to lose.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what Fear's outs can be, and you'll really come down to somehow forcing Jester Snorlax low, and then not even Espeon will do it with that Starmie. It's a really good matchup for Jester.
That
But he's
indeed.
also played it quite well, and he's in a good position.
Maybe he has Curse Talk? Yes, he does. So
They
they both
both
have
do.
Curse Talk. But neither wants to bring in their
Well, it
normal
looks
resist.
well. Unless Fear catches some breaks, this might be the end of the line.
Yeah, very much so. Still, it's very refreshing compared to the stall game, the second 400 turn stall game between Alice and Alice and Luis? No. Yeah.
So I guess Luis did get subbed out for the rematch. That is very interesting.
I didn't even know you could do that.
I didn't know either. All right, Fear's fighting back. They're forcing this Snorlax out. Or doing some good damage. So he could double boom with Steelix.
Yeah, that's the only out I see. Um, okay.
I think that was a very expendable Zapdos from Jester.
Yeah, as long as he keeps his I think so, yeah.
Wonder if the play here from Fear is Steelix. Threaten that boom. Perhaps you can get Cloyster low. Looks like he opts to go Zapdos.
Ooh. A crit is what brought it low, and a crit is what took it down. Elix is gone.
Oh. Let's pray to the Sleep Talk gods. It's my favorite part about GSC. You just click Sleep Talk, and then you don't have to feel bad about your plays.
Yeah. So this kind of loops back to what you were saying earlier, that the recoil damage could end up mattering.
Let me run some calcs at +5 for each of these Snorlax.
Wow, Jester's going for the gamble.
Yeah, so it turns out, I guess, with return and double edge recoil, the overall damage is about equivalent between the two.
That's interesting. Because in matchups like these, you have to watch out about being a little bit too generous with your double edges, but not so much with frustration. See, 12%. And Jester has taken no direct hit. Or maybe one, I don't know.
Well, I think they've been clicking so fast, I'm not sure what turn we're both on yet.
Yeah, I'm at turn 49. Oh my.
They're up to turn 54.
Oh my. I'm waiting for the whole animation.
Yeah. But I think, this is probably about the best play Jester could have made. But even then, it's still giving Fear some chances to come back.
Yeah, that's not good.
Because this will be
Could he not
difficult.
Could he not have gone to Cloister and simply boomed, maybe narrowed down the options Fear had?
I think that was, a possibility. Jester might have been wary of, Snorlax getting a curse off. Oh, big crit from Jester.
Yeah, you're probably on turn.
Sorry if that spoiled it.
Yeah, 57. Oh, and he takes it down.
And then he gets the speed tie win.
At this point, he can take out the Lax with, I was going to say with Zapdos, but no, he decides to stay in with go to Espeon. Well, then if I'm Jester, I kind of just switch out the Lax. And then that's it. Yep. Just spread some
I think
power.
even if Fear went to Zapdos, what I suspect is the back Marowak would have sealed the deal.
More or less.
But, despite all the back and forth in this game, it really did come down to just a 50-50 versus your Monolaxes.
Yeah.
And I think if Fear came out on top, there wouldn't be anything Jester could do to stop him, unless he, got a roar off on a sleep talk. But even then, Fear should have this. This game's just about over for him. Jester can always switch in his Snorlax after a sack to make sure it is out of thunder range.
Was about to say.
We have to have a lot of crit magic from this Zapdos.
Yeah, that's basically the reason why Fear is still playing. Because he has the right to believe in a world where the gods reward him. Gorgie says, Jester redemption arc. About to go on a 5-0 run. There's the Marowak. Earthworm proving that he can build a meta team and that survives for many, many years.
Yeah, these 6 are pretty good.
Damn. I thought that Marowak was, past its prime, or was going to reach a point where it was no longer in its prime.
Well, we might be seeing it come back with all that double normal resist to spam,
Oh
as you
yeah,
mentioned earlier.
and that's the game.
Yeah, no crit, no luck.
Yeah, whether or not I'm gonna keep that part of the video is up to debate, but I basically said that the double normal resist is pretty common, and lots of players on offense like to use Steelix with T-Tar or Steelix with something else. Even Golem Tar or things like that. And because it keeps you a little bit safer versus Snorlax, and it enables a level of offense that is very hard to be ready for. So
Yeah,
to abuse that would be a really good call to make. Yeah.
looks like it paid off for Jester. Had a great Starmie matchup into Espeon. And even Misdreavus, that paralysis really helped out Jester.
Yeah,
Not if he didn't catch a lot of breaks with those critical hits,
not at all.
but I still think in the end it just came down to that Monolax.
I think
I hate to use the
the
word coin flip, but that's what both players committed to.
they committed to it, but it might have been a little bit. Yeah, it might have. Jester might have given Fear a bit too much elbow room because this easily could have gone the other way. Just as a result of letting Fear set up with the Lax and not having T-Tar anymore. So
That's also just a disadvantage of only running a single explosion on this team. If you're getting into a late game Snorlax or even a last mon Snorlax scenario, it can get a little difficult to maneuver around that. Your options are Snorlax or Cloyster. So you had to pick between one of the two.
you know, this kind of reminds me of my first one of my first tournament games where I had a team like Jesters, but there was Eggy over Starmie, and so Cloyster was the spinner, and this girl ended up setting up with their last mon Lax, so I had to beat her with Lovely Kiss Curse Lax, and I
Interesting.
did. I used all of the sleep talk mechanics I knew to basically stop a +4 Lax from one-shotting my own Lax, and I managed to set up and then beat her, but it was really really hard.
But well played to Jester. This was certainly an interesting game.
Yeah,
Too bad we didn't get to see more back and forth going on, but that's just how it goes. And I think both players will come back next week and be hungry for a win.
yeah, I feel for sure, for sure. I feel like the Miss Drevis and Espeon sort of underperformed, but Fear wasn't entirely without options. I don't know. Best of luck to both, of course. I'm really glad I got to catch this match. So, thanks Siatam for being on with me.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
All right then. Take care, everybody. See you next time.
Have a nice day.